They say your true strength is revealed when you lose everything. I learned that the hard way. My name is Marcus Hale, and not too long ago, I was on top of the world. Owned a chain of high-end restaurants across the East Coast, had a mansion with a 10-car garage, and a wife I thought would stick by me no matter what. Louise. We had the kind of life people envied. Black-tie galas, beach vacations in the Maldives, first-class everything. Eva loved it. She loved the lifestyle, the attention, the status. I used to think she loved me, too. But the truth has a way of showing up when everything falls apart. It started with a fire, literally. One of my main restaurants burned down. Insurance got tangled in a fraud investigation that had nothing to do with me, but froze my accounts. The press latched onto the story, and suddenly, investors pulled out. By the time I could breathe, I had debts piling higher than my reputation. One night, I came home to Luis packing his things. "You'll bounce back," he said, barely meeting my eyes. "But I won't be here to watch the fall." Just like that, he walked out. No who, no keys, just silence and footsteps on marble floors one last time. The months that followed were dark. I sold the cars, the house, everything but my pride. Moved into a small apartment and worked nights in a kitchen, not as the owner anymore, but as a line cook. My name, once spoken with respect, became a footnote in business gossip. But somewhere in that chaos, I found peace, humility, hunger, and strangely, I found Jenna. She wasn't flashy like Luis. She didn't care about brands or my past titles. I met her at the diner where she worked mornings and took night classes. She smiled at everyone like they were worth something. Even me, even when I looked like a man on the edge. Over time, we talked. Then we laughed. Then we shared pain. She didn't flinch when I told her about my fall. She just said, "Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to remember which way is up." And then came the twist of fate. I was down to my last $20. I used 10 for gas, 5 for coffee, and on a whim, 5 on a lottery ticket. 3 days later, I woke up a multimillionaire. $118 million. I almost dropped the phone when I saw the numbers on the news. But here's the thing. I didn't go back to the old life. I didn't buy a mansion. I didn't throw money around. I bought a quiet home just outside the city. Helped Jenna open the bakery she'd always dreamed of. Invested the rest smartly. For once, life felt like mine, not something I was renting for approval. Then one evening, months after everything had changed, I heard a knock at the door. Then one evening, months after everything had changed, I heard a knock at the door. I opened it, and there she was. Designer coat. Perfect hair. But there was a tremble in her voice and a desperation in her eyes I'd never seen before. "Marcus," she said, barely above a whisper. "I heard about the lottery. I was wrong to leave you. I made a mistake." She reached for my hand. I stepped back. "No, Luis," I said. "You made a choice. But I still love you," she said quickly. "We can start again. I miss what we had, us." I shook my head. "You don't miss me. You miss the comfort, the luxury, the security. I found something better than all that now." Her voice cracked. "You're with someone?" I smiled gently. "Her name is Jenna. She stood by me when I had nothing. She believed in me when no one else did, including you." Luis's face dropped. "Marcus, please, don't throw us away." "Didn't," I replied. "You did. That door closed the moment you walked out of it." He stood there in silence. The man who once turned heads and lived loud, now quiet and unsure. "I wish you peace, Luis. But I've already found mine." And with that, I closed the door. Inside, Jenna was waiting with 2 mugs of tea, her hair tied up and flour on her cheek. She looked up at me and smiled the kind of smile that says, "I see you for who you are, not what you have." I sat beside her, took her hand, and whispered, "It's over." She kissed my cheek. "It's already behind you," she said. "We're just getting started." Moral: when someone loves you only when you're on top, they'll never understand the climb. The real ones are the ones who hold your hand during the fall. Please like and subscribe.